Kylie here. Kylie here. Good morning. We are diving into a new feature from HighLevel. This one has been long awaited and is really going to open up a ton of opportunity for us, our clients, or who we can serve, and just how we can simplify their life a whole lot better. So we officially have rental calendars launched to public beta. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to enable those for your sub accounts, how to set them up. We're going to go over all the different features, what they mean, how we can use them. And then I'm also going to walk you through a few use cases so you really get a full picture of rental calendars and how they can be used to service your clients better, bring new people into the HighLevel platform, and overall just create the best experience, because this is something we previously haven't had. So it was really hard to kind of keep everything inside of HighLevel when we were working with Airbnb owners, landlords, storage units, people who offer rentals for experiences like UTVs, boats, anything of the sort. So this one's really exciting. I'm going to make myself a little smaller over here and we're going to dive in. Now, one thing that is a little bit different about this setup is that you're not going to go through your typical labs in your agency settings to enable it. So if you have your own agency, what you're going to do is come into your sub accounts area over here on your left-hand menu bar from your agency, not your sub account. And then you're going to find whichever sub account you want to enable rental calendars in and hit these three dots and select Manage Client. Then we're going to come over here to calendar settings on the far right-hand side, and you'll have the option to turn on rentals and just hit save. If you are a sub-account user inside of an agency and you're not seeing the ability to do rental calendars yet, you would have to contact your agency owner to see if they would be able to enable that for you. Please be nice. This will be coming out without having to do this step at some point. So I'm just going to pop into our sub-account now that I just enabled the rental calendar in. And then right below my face, very bottom of your menu bar on the left, we're going to head into settings and then calendars right here. And when that is done, you're going to come to your regular calendars area. Now, very important, when you're setting up your rental calendars, it is going to live in a separate tab, which you'll see here. You're not going to use your regular new calendar button over here on the right. When you're creating rental calendars, this is like a whole different structure. It's not going to be tied in with your normal appointment calendars. So let's go over to rentals, and you're going to see kind of this option first. Now, we're just going to touch on a couple of the settings and options before we actually go in to create our listings. And I'm going to explain the terminology as we go as well, trying to make everything just as crystal clear as possible so it's super easy for you. So over here, listings is the terminology HighLevel is going to use to be like the items that you're renting out. So for this example, we're going to pretend that I'm an Airbnb owner and I'm going to put my Airbnb listings into HighLevel. So listings here in this case would just be all of my different Airbnbs that I have available. Okay, then in our global settings, we have a couple different options where, again, global settings is going to be across all of your listings. So it's going to be across all of our Airbnb rentals. I'm going to leave these as is, but this is where you can set things like your operating hours to determine your availability. You can set your time zone, slot interval. So this is going to be for booking. Let's say that I am booking an Airbnb, could be done hourly. So this is essentially the way it's going to show up on the calendar. It's going to allow them to book in like 60-minute intervals here, the way I have this. You can do away mode, so you can temporarily disable all new bookings. So, if you're going to be out of office or you have an event coming up and you just want to turn off all your new bookings, you can do it right here. That would apply to all of your listings at one time. So super easy to kind of toggle on and off. You can toggle on and off auto confirm new bookings. You can also enable a multi-item cart. I am going to let this on. Multi-item cart is going to allow the people booking with you or renting from you to add more than one item to their cart. So if you have it on, they can add more than one. If you have it off, they can only add one item at a time. Auto confirm bookings too. That's just going to go ahead. It's similar to the way you would in a calendar appointment. Auto confirm is going to automatically basically approve the rental versus I have this turned off. So essentially, I would have to go in and actually confirm that I do want to approve this booking. That just allows you a little bit more control there. So you can also over here add date specific hours. So again, if you have, let's say July 4th, for example, we only want to be available from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is how I would set that up. You can either mark as unavailable, which will completely block that entire day out, or I can go ahead and set this up to where I'm only available in the morning on July 4th. If you need to add an additional time slot like 12 to 2, you can do it by choosing the add time slot button. If you need to get rid of any, you can always hit the delete. And I'm just going to add a time. So this is going to block off July 4th. I'm only available from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Anything after 12 p.m. will be grayed out on the calendar. The booking page. So the booking page is where you can actually set up the design for what the page is going to look like. We will come back to this, but I just want you to know where it is in navigation. We're going to head to global settings, and then your booking page kind of layout and design is going to be here. Payment settings, I have it to test right now so you can actually see how it works. You can always toggle it to live, which is going to sync to your default payment method. You can always click here to manage that if you need to update. And then you can also choose your currency. We're working with the US dollar. Require payment at booking. So if you have this toggled on, it's going to actually require them to go ahead and pay before they can complete the booking process. And then enabling security deposits. You're also able to select this option, which is going to allow you to select only a deposit for your booking, where you can go ahead and collect that completely during the booking process, or you can just keep a card on file. So you've probably experienced this if you ever rented something like an experience, like a boat, like a UTV. Sometimes even like skis, snowboards, things like that are going to have these. But essentially, they will keep a card on file as like a damage deposit so that if you come back, and it's all banged up, they have a card on file to go ahead and charge that. That's just one example of how you can use the card on file, but we're going to keep it as collect upfront for this specific area. And then we have a note here about wanting to charge taxes on your listings. This is added in the individual listing or the product. So we can go ahead and look at that when we actually get into that. And then very similar to your internal options for calendar booking, you're going to have the notification area where you can turn on and off your different email and app. It looks like SMS is not available in this yet. So you can turn on your notifications for unconfirmed, confirmation, cancellation, reschedule, reminder, follow-up. In order to do that, you would just hit this toggle button for whichever option you're looking at. Go ahead and we can enable email notifications, and then you can select the contact. And if you expand, you can see, hey, this is going to trigger 10 minutes after the booking ends. You can select here to actually select a personalized email template you already have set up, or you can use the one that they have in here and just kind of customize it, which is a plain text email. So how was your rental experience with rental booking business name? Hey, we'd love to hear about your experience. And then, of course, we have all of our custom fields in here. We do have some new ones available specific to the rental calendar that will actually bring in their rental information. You can set your from name, from address. And then, of course, you can type in an email and go ahead and test that so you can actually see what they will be receiving before enabling this. When you select the business, this is going to be an internal notification to you, whoever owns the sub account. Or you can also select a specific staff member to notify. And then it's, again, going to have this kind of pasted in email content that you can edit directly here, or again, you can go ahead and select this option. You can also go over to your in-app and enable this. This is going to actually send you a push notification from the HighLevel or Lead Connector app, whichever one you're using. I don't know if they still have both. I should probably check that. But it's going to actually send a notification from the app. And then you can always add more from this page or the email page, which will allow you to add in multiple touch points depending on what hours you're setting. So here it says 1 hour, here it says 10 minutes. That means I would get this email an hour after the booking ends and 10 minutes after the booking ends. Important note, it will be the same email. You cannot customize the emails. Basically, if I want to have 1 hour after the booking ends and have a custom email, it wouldn't allow me to do it that way. I would have to set that up inside of an actual workflow. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn these off for right now. And it's exactly the same for all of these. So you can go into cancellation, email, and then just go ahead and expand again. And that's going to have different content based on which one you're turning on and turning off. So we're going to hit save changes up here and make sure you're always saving when you make any changes inside of your global settings to ensure that they actually do save and are coming through. Now we're going to dive into categories really quick. I want to start with that. Categories are essentially going to allow you to just break down your rentals into different buckets or folders, however you want to think about it. Categories, fine word too. So for this one, I'm going to actually title this cabin rentals because this is specifically going to be for my Airbnb homes or cabins as we're doing. And then I'm also going to add one that says add-ons. I could also name it experiences, but I'm going to leave it add-ons for now. So this is going to be options that they can add on to their Airbnb experience, like a boat rental, like a brunch basket when they're checking in, etc. So again, we're going to start with our new listing. Now that we have our two categories here, you're always going to have default. This one, I could edit technically, but we're just going to leave it there. If you ever need to edit these, you can always hit the three dots. You can edit. It's going to allow you to kind of change the name and the URL. You can delete, which is going to allow you to confirm to delete that. And then you can also share the scheduling link. So if you're on the phone with someone or someone reaches out, hey, can you give me the link just to add something on? We didn't initially want to add on, but now we do. You could grab this and go ahead and send that directly to them. You could also potentially embed this in like follow-up email after the fact and give them that link so that they can add on experiences up until like the end of their trip, which could help just improve your booking value a little bit. Okay, now we're diving into the listing. This is where we're actually going to create what can people rent from me. So it always starts with an image. I have these preloaded. We're just going to go ahead and start with this little cabin number 1. And I'm just going to name it Gatlinburg cabin number 1. 3-bed, 2. I'm going to keep these really simple just so you don't have to sit here and watch me type a whole bunch. Large deck, hot tub, close to town, but private and quiet. Okay, so we go ahead and added that. Keep in mind, you have all of your very typical formatting options up here. So bold, italic, underline, strike through, link, format, text color, highlight color. You can change if you want to do like a heading 4, and then your alignment, bullets, and numbered bullets. Okay, so base price is where you can set what your typical price is. I would generally describe this as like your most frequently used price. You do have the option to customize it later. We're going to see that in just a second. But for this one, I'm going to go ahead and say we want to rent this at $350. You can do day, hour, week, or month. We're going to add this to our cabin rentals category. You can edit your URL. I'm just going to leave it as Gatlinburg cabin. And then you can mark something as active or inactive. So for example, if we had a cabin that was down for maintenance during a specific week, I could very quickly come in here and say, hey, this is going to be listed as inactive for a little bit until we get, all the repairs done that we need to do. And then it would be taken away from the actual booking calendar. Perfect. You can add multiple listing images as well. For this example, I'm only going to go ahead and add that one, but you can add multiple so that they can kind of see the inside of the cabin, see the outside of the cabin, view the bedrooms, etc. Okay, and then we're going to see this option down here as well that says enable listing specific form. So what this basically does is that for each listing, if you want to have a different booking form, you can toggle this on and it will allow a different form to be used other than the default. You can literally toggle it on and then it's going to allow you to pick from any of your existing forms. I'm going to turn this off for this, but we will actually use this in practice a little later so you can see how it works. So this is all set up. It looks good to me. Now we're going to move into inventory and pricing. So inventory, so that's okay, perfect. So inventory basically will treat things as one unit or multiple units. For this specific purpose, I'm going to leave this off. I only have one Gatlinburg cabin that is a 3-bed, 2-bath with a hot tub and a large deck. So we're going to leave this off. Now, if I was doing something like storage units and I had 4 units available that are all 12 by 12, I could go ahead and say, hey, 12 by 12 temperature controlled storage unit and put 4 here. And that would allow up to 4 people to book that specific storage unit. Variants. Now, if you are experienced with this store area of HighLevel, I want you to throw out everything you know about variants because it's different in this circumstance. Variance here is going to basically act as a mechanism to adjust your pricing. So what I mean, we can say, hey, booking unit is going to be either month, week, day, or hour. This is going to be your standard kind of booking unit. Do you want people only booking weeks at a time, only booking days at a time, only booking months at a time, etc.? And then you're going to see we have price number 1 is regular at $350 a day. Perfect. We're going to add a new price. Let's say this is our peak season price. This is going to be $425 per day. So we have the option here. We can toggle on seasonal pricing, which is what this is going to be. You can select if it's going to be a percentage higher or a flat rate. And let's go ahead and select the 1st of June up until the 30th of September. And I think I actually, so sorry, I messed that up. We can set that under our regular pricing. Regular. Okay, let's do flat again, because I want this to all be as concise as possible and all tied together as possible. All right, let's just select June 30th for this example. I lied, July 31st. Okay, so we can see seasonal pricing is going to be June 1st to July 31st, $425. And then we're also going to do one for okay. I don't know why that's grayed out. Don't know what's happening there. All right, day of the week pricing. You can also go ahead and say, hey, Saturday and Sunday are going to be 25% higher. And then duration discounts are going to allow you to essentially say, hey, we want 20% off if they book 7 or more days, or we can take 25% off if they book 30 or more days. And then you would just confirm, and that's basically going to give you that stacked and tiered pricing inside of your base price. So one variant here with all kinds of different options. Then we're going to move into booking settings. So booking period, if you roll over this eye, it's going to just let you know, hey, this is how they select the rental duration when booking. So they can do a date and time selector, date selector, or fixed duration. So if you pick this, they can literally select, hey, I want to check in April 1st at 10 a.m. And then I want to check out at April 3rd at 4 p.m. If you select date, they're just going to say, hey, I want to check on April 1st. I want to check out on April 4th. And then you can kind of set and let them know, hey, this is check-in time, this is checkout time. Fixed durations is where you actually preset the duration and they can select basically whatever works for them. It's not necessarily going to be a, hey, start date, end date. It's going to be a 5-day slot. And then we would hit confirm and add. So we can do 5 days. We can do 7 days. That's going to be their option to book. They can select a 5-day slot. They can select a 7-day slot, and that's it. We're not doing any other type of booking. We're going to use this option. So because this is kind of the most not self-explanatory. So I just want you to be able to see kind of how this goes. Then very similar to your regular calendars, you can select a pre and post buffer time. Now, in the instance of rentals, this is where you're going to be able to bake in your hours or days needed for things like cleaning and turnover, specifically for like a rental of a house, a unit. Same thing if you're like renting a car, you obviously need some time to clean it, check over everything. So I'm not going to put any pre-buffer time here, but I do want 8 hours after they check out before the next person can check in. You know what? Let's just go ahead and make it 12. Minimum scheduling notice. So how many days before their desired booking date can they actually book? So if I set this to 3, the soonest available start date today is March 20th that I could book would be like March 24th because it has to be 3 full days. And then max advance booking window, we're going to go ahead and do 12 months. I only want them to be able to book a year out. After that, I don't want to take bookings past a year. Anything could potentially happen. So when someone books with me, they're only able to see slots over the next 12 months. The rest is going to show as unavailable. And then calendar sync. So this is kind of nice because you can actually import bookings from external calendars. This is going to be especially helpful when you're bringing people into this system that already have bookings on a calendar that is not in HighLevel, but they want to actually start using the HighLevel booking system. So I could do Kylie rental calendar cabin number 1. This is maybe all of my bookings just for that Gatlinburg cabin number 1. I could add the URL in here, and then this is actually going to pop up and let me import it. Export calendar, so you can also go ahead and copy this link so that any other software you're using that would handle these bookings can read what is on your booking calendar and kind of bring that into their software. So they're making it as easy as humanly possible to ensure we have all of the options we need so that these rentals can be managed absolutely seamlessly. I'm going to go ahead and save changes up here. We also have the option to view a booking page, but I'm not going to do that one quite yet. We're going to go back. I'm going to very quickly this time just go ahead and choose a different cabin. Pigeon Forge cabin number 1. This is going to be 5 bed, 3 bath, large deck, private. Okay, that's what we're going to do. This one is base price is going to be $600 a day. Again, we're going to do cabin rentals, Pigeon Forge, status is active. I'm going to save. Okay, and this looks good. We're going to turn on variants again. Hit the 3 dots and edit. We're going to turn on our advanced pricing. June 1st to July 31st, 25% higher. 20% for 7 days. And keep in mind, this is going to apply, that discount will apply on whatever price they're getting original, like whatever price they're getting. So if they're booking during non-peak season, it's going to be 20% or 25% off of $600 versus if they're booking June 1st through July 31st. If I book 8 days, in June, it's going to take 20% off of the 25% higher price. So let me go ahead and save that. That looks good. This one I'm just going to do date selector, where I can go ahead and select my rental time starts at 3, it ends at 11 a.m. Minimum duration, let's go ahead and say minimum duration is 3 days for this one. Maximum is 30, because I only want people to stay a minimum of 3 days, but a maximum of 30. We will not accept any rentals. Actually, I'll change it to 40 because we have that extra discount in there. Post buffer time, I want 12 hours. 12 months for the advanced booking window, and 3 days for the minimum scheduling notice. And then I'm not going to do anything for the calendar sync. Now so now we have 2 cabins. We're going to go ahead and do one more new listing. I'm going to do a boat rental. 8 hour. Okay, let's do 200 a day. This is going to be the add-ons that we talked about. And we're going to set this up very similarly, just a little bit different because it's going to be literally an add-on. For this one, I would say yes. I want to go ahead and select a different form. I'm just going to select a random one, but this would essentially allow me to go ahead and change the form for this boat rental because there is some like liability documents and things that need signed. So I want a custom form if they're doing a boat rental. That way I can gather all of the information I need as soon as they're booking it and not have to go through a whole process later on. Okay, inventory and pricing. So for this one, we're going to go ahead and say we have 3 boats of this size that they can go ahead and add into their rental. I don't want to do variants. It's just $200 no matter per day, no matter when you're doing it. And we can keep our advanced pricing turned off. We can also, I didn't add this one before, we can actually go ahead and add quantity discounts. So maybe we do a 15% discount if they book 2 or more of our boats. Perfect. Booking settings, minimum duration, 1 day, maximum duration, let's say 2 days. Date selector only, except this one would be a little different. We want this to start at like 9 a.m. because it is a full day, the whole way down to, let's say 6 p.m. Minimum duration is 1. Maximum, I mean, technically they could book this every day with their rental. So we're actually going to leave these alone. And then post buffer time, I only need 3 hours to turn over a boat. Minimum scheduling notice is going to be, we don't really need any minimum scheduling notice. If they want to add it that day, that's totally fine as long as it's available. And then max advanced booking window, I'm not putting anything there either because again, if they want to book it a year beforehand, that's fine. If they want to book it the same day, that's totally fine too. We're going to save changes. Brilliant. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and click our booking page. So you can do view booking page. It's going to give you a preview. I'm not going to show you quite yet. You can copy the URL, or you can go ahead and look at your other scheduling options, which you have your scheduling link, a permanent link, and then you can also embed, and then you can do fixed height, which is going to be basically, it will be set at 900 pixels no matter what. Or you can do full height, which will adjust based on the size of your actual page. Show header, hide header. We'll look at the header then later. And then you just copy and you can paste that into any of your funnels, external websites, pretty much anywhere you need to put it. Okay, now here, oh no, we forgot a picture for our boat. Let's add that really quick. So we have the full experience. Okay, there's our boat. Beautiful. Okay, let's view the booking page again. So this is going to look very similar to something like your Airbnb listings and the way you have the ability to search, sort, You can look by categories. And again, we have the option to go ahead and adjust the way this looks completely. So we're going to explore a little bit. I'm going to take you through the process. And then at the end, we're going to go over all of your different booking page customization options. We're not going to get too crazy with it. I don't want to spend 7 hours because you can do a million things, but I want you to get a really good idea of what is possible and kind of what everything does so you understand terminology and things like that. So we can sort low to high. We can do high to low. I can adjust my price range and it will show and hide options accordingly. I can look at just cabin rentals or just add-ons or all. So, okay, I'm interested in the Pigeon Forge cabin number 1. Here is our description. We have our image here, and then I can go ahead and scroll through and say, hey, okay, so I want to start on April 6th, and you can see it forces me to pick that minimum that we set. So let's say I want to check out on April 13th. Total 4,200. Cool. Let's go ahead and add to cart. So we have our add to cart mode ready to go. I can literally continue to check out, or I can hit the add more and say, hey, I want a boat rental. We started on, let's say I want it the last couple days. So I want it the 12th and the 13th. And it's going to update. Hey, 400. Let's add 2. There you can see that we actually had the discount because if we got 2 or more, we got that discount of, I think, 15% for those rentals. So there it's going to update. It is for 2 days for 2 boats. We're going to go ahead and add to cart, and then we're going to check out. And again, we have this add more listings button where we can go ahead and actually add that. And then over here, they'll be able to see order summary where it says subtotal, discount, total, due today, continue to check out. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, so then we're going to come directly into our booking page where they can go ahead and say, hey, Kylie Robinson, 319048, da-da-da-da-da, confirm. And then we can book. I'm in test mode right now, so it should be good. Fingers crossed. Oh, and then confirm booking. That might be a little. Da-da-da-da-da. Beautiful. Okay, so thanks for booking with us. It's been successfully submitted. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us at hello. It has amount right here. Booking details. So we have Pigeon Forge cabin, boat rental, and we're good to go there. So that's kind of how the process looks for your customers. Now, that one had me pay the entire price up front. If we want it to be a little bit different and say we just want to go ahead and do our, nope, it's not going to be that. Do our deposit. Where did I find that? Okay, sorry. We would come to global settings, and then I would turn off the require payment at booking, and that is going to go ahead and be done via the security deposit. Says online payments are disabled. Security deposits must be collected manually at the time of the rental. Interesting. I'm not sure how to adjust that, but we'll figure it out. Moving on. Let's look at our actual booking page because this is where we can kind of come in and actually start customizing the page quite a bit. So let's go ahead and I'm just literally going to select some random like logo. Didn't look like that populated. So we're going to select this, insert media. Okay, hopefully it's there. And then you can see you can eliminate your business location. You can do a card, a list, or let them choose how they want to actually view it. You can choose for theme, light, dark, custom. We'll do light. I want my primary color to be, I have this color code memorized, so we're just going to go with that one. Time format, we can adjust how it looks, whether you want regular or military time. Week starts on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Listing, selection, button, label. So we can do view details, view more information, view the booking. Final booking is going to say confirm booking, but you can change that to whatever you want to. Let me actually preview this. Whoops. Okay. Let's preview this so I can walk you through what they're talking about. Okay, so this is going to be, when it says confirm booking, it's this button right here. We can adjust that part directly. And then the view details area is going to be right here. You can change what that says. Okay, input custom codes. If you want to add some CSS, make it really pretty, really beautiful, this is your opportunity to do so. Forms, this is where you're going to go ahead and select your default form. So if you want it to be something other than your standard name, last name, email, phone, notes, you can select it there. Also, I want to turn on sticky contacts because if they know who the contact is, I want it to make it as easy as possible. Sticky contact is going to autofill their information if they know who it is. Consent checkbox. So this is usually going to be your consent to go ahead and communicate with them. And then your thank you page. You can redirect to a custom URL. So if you build a custom thank you page, you would select redirect URL and paste the URL in this area. If you just want the standard booking page that we just saw, it would say thank you for booking with us. Booking has been successfully submitted. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Beautiful. We did payment settings. And then, actually, I'm going to go ahead really quick and maybe I need to select something different. Let's go ahead and select the cabin we didn't use. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and do F8, 7575. Beautiful. Okay. Background color can be changed when you have custom theme only. Testing rental company. Beautiful. Let me save. Make sure you save every time you change something. And then if I come and hit refresh, we should have some updated branding. So yeah, you can see that we now have that like pinky peach as our accent color throughout. I can still do all the same things. Continue to check out, and then it's going to give us all of the same information that we just went through. So that was a whole lot. It's a very, very powerful feature. I'm really, really excited about this. Like I said, it's going to allow us to just service so many different types of businesses again. So if you have questions, drop them below. Let us know. We're more than happy to answer them, and have fun with rentals.